Okay, hi, I'm Chuck Rozanski, and I'm here with two of my longtime friends from here at the Comic-Con. How long have you been coming here?
76.
76 was your first one? Okay, so you and I have shared over 40 Comic-Cons together.
Oh my God.
Same thing.
Yeah?
We did the same year in 1976.
76, yeah. I came for the first time in 73. So I just have a little bit of seniority, but big deal. The question that I have for the two of you is, how are you seeing the traffic in your aisle and just in general looking at your older books? Because both of you sell really cool, collectible, and original art and more.
That guy's awesome.
It's a shrubbery! How are you seeing it?
Shrubbery!
Much less. I mean, fans today at Comic-Con are essentially here for sort of like a day at Disneyland, which is great. Take the family out, have fun. But are they here to buy collectibles? No, 99.5. 99.5, yeah, I'll stick to that one. Percent are not here to buy anything. They're here to have fun. And it's a great place to have fun. Great place to take the family, wife and kids and all that, and spend the day, walk around, see all the things, and enjoy themselves. It is very hard to get badges, very long lines to get in, and the serious collector, I almost say, if you go through this, you probably deserve a merit badge and a discount from us, at least 20% for having to put up with all that to get in here. So my bottom line is, the collectibles is still good, it's just not at Comic-Con. Sells great on eBay or like the way you do, Chuck, like that nature, but it's diminished vastly because they simply can't get in. It's so difficult to get in here. So that's the big change that I see. But God bless, let them all come and enjoy what they want to do. This is what it is. It's a multimedia convention. It's really not that much to do with that.
Okay, so I guess the operative question is, first off, are you going to make enough money this year, do you think, to cover your costs of being here?
For me, possibly not. Of course, I have to factor in, I'm one of those freaks that love fine dining. So I can't spend a lot of money eating out.
But lifestyle aside, I mean, just as a business venture, is it a good business decision?
Because I also factored in another aspect that I hadn't considered until this morning, and that is, my eBay store is closed because I want to make sure that when somebody orders something, we can ship it right out. They don't have to wait a week or 10 days we'll be back and then we'll ship it.
So there's a lost sales ratio.
Yeah, that I hadn't taken into. So no, it really.
So are you going to renew?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, if somebody walked up and a few big things went off, I might reconsider, but doubt. Okay. This might be my final.
Well, I've actually done well enough to make money.
Okay.
I've been planning this show better and better all the time. You have to understand how the show works.
Okay.
And if you do that, I can make money. Now, the questions become, I'm doing so much with other dealers,
right?
But that's okay. I mean, it doesn't matter to me who spends money.
I've bought from you a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the key. As long as I'm selling stuff and I'm making money, I'll be back. But he's right about the fact that the other 4 or 5 days in the public, it is a lot of work for not.
Yeah.
And I'll be back because I said I'm still making money, and this is the first year that I'm actually down a little bit from where I was the last couple of years. Yeah. But who knows? You never know what happens. People are a lot slower now to buy stuff than they used to be.
Yes.
They come back more afterwards than they never did before. In the old days, you saw it, you bought it.
Yeah.
Because they knew if they didn't buy it, there was somebody right behind them who was going to buy it.
Well, Sundays are now our biggest days.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I don't know if so there could still be very good action.
Exactly.
We just have to wait and see. The question is, how are you seeing traffic down here at this end of the building this year versus last year?
It's completely different.
Okay.
It's much better. I've talked to a few booths, a few vendors where they say, oh, it's terrible. But most people have said it's up.
Okay.
Hard for me to judge because we bring something different each year. So doing that, it's hard to see how I do year by year. But the crowd itself, oh, it's definitely up here. It's huge.
So you're seeing more traffic, because that's what, I mean, my observation was that in past years, the whole building has tilted down towards Hall H and the south end of the building, and this year, up in what I call mom and pop land, it just seems to be much more of people being willing to look at different things rather than just focusing totally on just being down in the media area.
Yes, I agree. The frenzy, there is still the frenzy to go to Van Nuys, to go to Hasbro, to sort of pay for your trip, partially by getting exclusives. I think a lot of people, though, are burning out on wasting their trip instead of meeting creators and finding interesting things. Spend your vacation waiting online just to pay for your trip that you're now not enjoying. I think a lot of people are tired of doing that and want to enjoy the show more now.
Okay, those of you who have been reading my newsletters, my pros newsletters over the past, say, 15 or 20 years, know that every Comic-Con around 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, I stand in the middle and I just look around and I try to get some sort of sense of what's happening with the convention. We're right now in the 1400 aisle, which actually is not in the middle. And to me, what I am seeing is an enormous shift in the traffic flow from the south end of the building more towards the north end. And I want you to actually look at this and look at the flow as it's going around. It is absolutely huge, the number of people that are on this end of the building this year. Now, I'm not saying that you could have thrown rocks last year, but what I will say is that it was significantly less than what it is now. But something that the people that we just interviewed were noting, all of the traffic is in the center aisle. We're not seeing as much spreading out to the sides into the smaller aisles, and also, as Ruben was saying, the people aren't going to the back of the room. It seems to be more towards the front of the room. I can't explain why this is, okay, but it's just something that's an absolute observation. It's tilted more towards the front part, the harbor side of the building, and less towards the back side. We're now going to take a quick walk down and see what it's like in Media Hell. Okay. We are now down right by where they're showing footage from the new Star Wars film. And this is really interesting to me because I'm standing here and I'm not being knocked over. I'm not being pushed by a security guard. I'm actually able to have people flow around me and it's not uncomfortable at all. This is radically different than what it's been the last couple of years, last 5 years on a Saturday here at Comic-Con. And I had a little epiphany, which is that I think that the attendees of this show are actually getting smarter because they're focusing their time on having a really enjoyable experience and not standing in line so much. And so what you're seeing is you're seeing a really good flow of people moving through the halls, and instead of there being long lines that actually block your ability to see things, people seem to be heading for all parts of the hall. That's why we've seen a lot of people that have been down at the end end rather than everyone being down here at the south end. And this is still really quite reasonable. I mean, it's busy down here, but this is nowhere near the crowd scenes that I was describing in the very first couple of videos that where I projected on the basis of what we've seen in the past. The demand, just sort of the perspective of people, there seems to be a much broader perspective in terms of people looking at different things. So you got comic fans, you have media fans. The one thing, and this was what Ron was talking about, there don't seem to be as many aging baby boomers here anymore. This is much of a younger group of people. That's not necessarily bad either. You know, aging baby boomers can still sit in their easy chair now and buy rare collectibles at home on eBay, so they don't have to be here. They don't have to put up with this kind of a lively atmosphere. But I love it. I love Comic-Con. I love the excitement that's here. And what we're seeing is, I think, a rebirth of the entire phenomena. Because once you start spreading things out more, then we can take advantage of this huge building and have all sorts of different things here. And it's not just one giant, very uncomfortable cluster. So that's it. This is Chuck Rozanski, Mile High Comics. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll do one more tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you.